so. So St. Rita moves to 5-2. St. Rita moves to 5-2.
St. Rita 5-2. Yeah.
Yep. So they punched their ticket, and Leo, after coming off a victory last week against Noble Prep, they fall to 1-6.
1-6. And what was the final score in that one, Dan?
42-0.
42-0. All right. And we've got a couple of finals as well. Montini 31-14 over St. Viator. That one is final. We've got Marmion. They fall to IC 40-6. That one is final. And the one game still going on here is Mount Carmel and Joliet Catholic. This is 28-14, Mount Carmel over Joliet Catholic in the fourth quarter with about 6 minutes left to play in that game.
All right, and then so just looking at some of the schedules here. So Montini moves to 5-2, so they're in. They are in. So, and boy, St. Viator, they have had it rough, haven't they? They've kind of fallen on some hard times here. This is their fourth loss in a row. They are at IC next week, so they are really BATW and really have to find a way to get to pull out 2 wins here after starting out 3-0.
Yeah, well, just from the casual observer, which I am, Dan, watching St. Viator, they do have a lot of talent on offense, but it seems like Cooper Komet, who's a really talented quarterback, it seems like he's trying to do everything right now for them, and it's just not working. At least not the way they want it to work. So I don't know. Maybe they've got to go back and look at the way they're trying to do things on offense, because you're right, they're backs against the wall, BATW, and they've only got 2 regular season games left here.
Yeah, Joe. And boy, Marist is knocking on the door again, up 30-19, 2 minutes and 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They are right down in the red zone inside the 10-yard line of St. Ignatius. So they're looking to extend that lead to maybe 37-19. So we'll see. That regular cast of characters, McAuliffe, Ritter, with their feet through the air, they're humming right now, Marist.
Yeah, they are. It's interesting, Dan, as we watch some of these games and go through the season, and we see some of the teams that grow from week to week and really start to gain some momentum, and some of the teams that just can't quite catch that or get that momentum going. So it's good to see some of these teams like St. Rita really kind of put it all together at the right time of the year and really start to hum on both offense and defense.
Yeah, they're a great one. They're going to be fun to watch in the playoffs too, because they're just kind of a team that is just goes along and takes care of business. They moved to, like I said, 5-2. Probably a 6A or 7A team, but
I was just going to ask that. Where will they end up? 6A, 7A. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. I wouldn't want to play them. I would not like that draw if I'm another school, and maybe not all that familiar with the Catholic League. I would not want to draw St. Rita because they are hard nosed, have studs on offense. They have that star factor that I know you like on both sides of the ball. So that definitely is definitely something that could be interesting to watch as the season goes.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. Do you have any games still going on, Dan, or are they all pretty much final at this point?
Marist scored again, so
there we go.
Make it 37-19. There is a minute 53 left, but it looks like they will. Marist will go ahead and win this game. So, like we said, that moves them to Marist moves to 6-1. So they're in great shape. They're going to get a nice seed. They finish out the season. They are home against Marmion, and then home against Notre Dame. So we know that both of those schools have struggled a little bit when they've gone into these upper divisions. So Marist looks to be in a really good position heading into the playoffs. Probably going to qualify for a pretty high seed.
Yeah. So, how many teams do we have now in the Chicago Catholic League? Looks like Mount Carmel, Dan, is going to score here again. They are going to go up 35-14 over Joliet Catholic. With only, under 5 minutes left to go in this game. So, Mount Carmel kind of wore Joliet Catholic down over the course of this game, and now they, probably just put it away with this touchdown. It looks like Cooper Lehman scored again here on a run. He's a really good player. Can't be stopped. He's a transfer from where? Was it Neuqua Valley or Naperville? Neuqua?
I think Neuqua.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they hated to lose him because he's a really good football player. Yeah.
Don't like to lose those guys.
Yeah, you hate to lose those kind of guys, but
Joe, so we haven't had like great games. We had one great game, DePaul and Carmel. Now we've got Naz had essentially the bye because of the forfeit from De La Salle, and then tomorrow we've got St. Lawrence. Are they tomorrow?
No, tomorrow we've got Loyola, and hold on, I've got it. Tomorrow we have Loyola and Providence.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be a fun one. Yeah, but we haven't had many great games here tonight. I'm surprised. Only one game really, really in question, in the back half of the fourth quarter, and that was the DePaul Prep Carmel game.
Right. Yes. The rest of the games have been, maybe close for a while, but then they've turned out to be a bit of blowouts. I mean, we've got Montini 31-14 over St. Viator. Well, now we've got Mount Carmel 35-14 over Joliet Catholic. Who else? Marmion 40-6 loses to IC. So some blowouts this week. So a different kind of week for us, Dan.
Yeah, and I'll run through my scores real quick, Joe. Brother Rice beats Notre Dame 42-7. As we mentioned, DePaul Prep comes back and beats Carmel 25-22. Marist is currently up with 17 seconds to go. I'm going to call that a final 37-19 over St. Ignatius. Fenwick defeats Bennett 42-7. So that game was a running clock. St. Rita 42-0 over Leo. So a lot of games that really were not in question. So kind of a different week for us. Like we talked about, this game, Marist and Ignatius has gone final. So really quick night too.
Yeah, really a quick night because the only game I got left here is Mount Carmel and Joliet Catholic, and this one is in hand by Mount Carmel, 35-14 right now. Joliet Catholic resorting to something they don't necessarily like to do and trying to throw the ball, Dan, down the field to try and get a quick score, and that falls incomplete, so they're going to turn the ball over again here. So this game is under 3 minutes to go in this game,
okay.
Dan.
So taking a knee, or just trying to run it out.
Yes.
So, a little schedule hunting. So while we're kind of waiting for that game to end, so I wanted to look at IC's schedule. So IC moved to 3-4 tonight.
Right.
They host St. Viator next week, who is also 3-4. So a game with 2 3-4 teams that really need the win. IC finishes at St. Rita, so big time challenge for them in week 9. So that game between 2 3-4 teams next week is going to be one that we want to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not asking you to make any kind of predictions, Dan, but
Yeah, I need a lot of time, a lot
what's
of
that?
prep. I need to scour over the scouting reports, the different feeds. Yes.
Yeah, I'm maybe a little more encouraged about IC versus St. Vida right now. I watched a bit of the St. Vida game, and I just don't think they're all that, they've got their offense all that connected, right? They've got some really good players. They got Cooper Komet, quarterback. Like I mentioned, he's trying to do maybe too much, and maybe not get some of the other stars there involved. But um, I don't know. I felt like IC kind of put it together tonight. They are really physical, Dan.
Yeah.
IC. They're big, they're fast, they're strong. They've had a tough year up till now. Just with a lot of different things going on. They've had injuries, they've
Yeah.
had starts and stops, all that kind of thing. But maybe
Well, we've said it's been the team of fits and starts, right?
fits and starts, yes. But if they're 3-4, I mean, they may end up being one of those teams that 4-win teams that they're going to look at for a possible playoff spot. But obviously we got to play the next two games. But I can easily see that being their future, Dan. A 4-win team, and they got their fingers crossed that they might get in.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at who they've played, the only problem is, Joe, that they played an out-of-state team that's 2-4. So
Right.
St. Louis, they played Chicago Military Academy, that's 3-3.
Yeah.
St. Ignatius loses tonight; they're 3-4. So their points aren't really piling up. Now they've got good losses, so to speak, to Nazareth and to Marist, but it could be a little bit of a challenge for them. So they're in 4A. So you'd have to see. There's so many algorithms. You really have to know advanced calculus to figure it out.
And that
Especially
is not our strong point, is it?
No, it's not.
I know you got through regular calculus, but advanced calculus, I'm not sure that was something that you made it through, Dan.
And ask me one question about it, and I can't answer it. So
I don't even know how to ask you a question about it. Yeah. Once I got out of calculus, I was like, I am done. I never need to know that again, and
Yeah.
that has been true.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Joe, did you get any of the scores? Did you get any scores for the games that you were having a hard time getting video feeds on?
No, I've been looking all over, and I've
Trying to see St. Francis.
Yeah. Let me see if they've got. Uh, let's see. Let me look at this.
X doesn't seem to have anything.
Nope, X doesn't have anything. St. Francis played Marian Catholic tonight. Yeah. Normally, you'll find Marian Catholic on Facebook, but I'm not seeing anything there as well. Yeah, and the other one, St. Patrick and St. Lawrence. You see anything on X for them?
Boy, that is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Mount Carmel, Joliet Catholic, 35-14 still. Joliet Catholic is trying to punch a ball in here for one more score, but yeah, this one is essentially over, Dan. Mount Carmel over Joliet Catholic, 35-14.
Okay, Joe,
Yeah.
I do see something. It's an older score. I found a little video. I found some video on Vimeo that I found through it has St. Lawrence up 24-6. That's in the third quarter. So I'm guessing this is behind. unless there was a late start. But it looks like at least at one point St. Lawrence did have the lead 24-6 over St. Pat's.
And you said that's Vimeo?
Yes, I found the feed on the St. Lawrence the St. Lawrence X site. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like kind of through some of their social media, these Vimeo feeds are starting to become more prevalent here. So something we're going to have to add to our list of providers over the course of the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I thought NFHS had the agreement with the IHSA to broadcast everything.
Very loose
agreement because
loosey-goosey.
I see it on YouTube. I see it on Huddle Live. Now we're talking about Vimeo. We've got Joliet Catholic and Mount Carmel on the Marquee Network. So,
yeah,
go figure.
Yeah, well, it's another reason we want correspondence. So we want people to pay attention to come on the show. So definitely would like to get people to kind of fill in those gaps where video is hit or miss.
Yeah. All right. So all your games are done, right, Dan?
Done. Yeah, we're done. I mean, I'm done.
I'm done. All right. I'll see you later. Yeah.
Do you want to run through scores real quick, Joe? And we can put a wrap on it.
Yeah. Let's do it one more time here. And I'm watching the, let's see, 35-14 Mount Carmel over Joliet Catholic. And that game is going final right now. It's under 5 seconds to go. Or actually 35-21, Dan. 35-21, Mount Carmel over Joliet Catholic. We've got a final score of Montini, 31-14 over St. Viator. Montini gets their 5th win, going to the playoffs for sure. The IC Marmion game, that's final. IC 40-6 over Marmion. So IC gets their 3rd win. Marmion goes to 3-4, I believe, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Marmion goes to 4-3.
4-3.
Yeah.
4-3, right. So they've got 2 games to get that 5th win.
Yeah.
So that's all the scores I have right now, Dan.
All right, now I'll run through my finals again. Brother Rice defeats Notre Dame 42-7. DePaul Prep in the game of the night defeats Carmel 25-22 with a late touchdown. Marist handles St. Ignatius 37-19. Fenwick easily defeats Bennett 42-7. St. Rita defeats Leo 42-0. And then I think that was all the games I had, Joe. So 5 games in the book for on my side that we were able to follow. Like we said, it was kind of a different night. Not great football games. I do have a score of 24-6. I don't know if this one is current for St. Lawrence over St. Pat's.
Okay. And we've got a Saturday game tomorrow. That's Loyola and Providence. So I'm sure we'll be one of us will be watching that, Dan, too. So so we'll be able to report on that.
Oh yeah, we'll be able to cover it for sure in the recap.
Yeah, in the recap for sure. All right, the Mount Carmel Joliet Catholic game just went final for sure, 35-21. So I think that's it, Dan.
All right.
Another good night of football in the Chicago Catholic League. A little bit different, like you said. We had a couple of blowouts and not as many close games as maybe we thought there were going to be, but that's the way this goes.
Yeah, that's you're going to have weeks like this. So and it's something that I know some of the coaches are like, well, boy, we've got to play up 3 levels. All the Blue does is play down, but it's just kind of how it is, right now. And I know they're going to really have to, always be tweaking this league, to kind of get a fit that works for everybody, so that everyone can feel like it's a win-win. We'll see what that playoff proposal, if that changes anything. But
Yeah.
I know I've got a suggestion for the Catholic League on what they can do, but we can hold that. Right?
Hold it for some other episode, or
Yes.
yeah,
Off
okay.
season. It's a tease.
It's a tease for sure. So people need to listen for at least another month.
Right. Yes.
Oh,
we have so much content to cover.
We have so much to go over.
Just never ends.
Yeah, and the next episode, which everybody's going to want to hear, is our recap episode, Dan, and that'll come out. Let's see, Monday morning as usual. So. Yeah. Make sure you come back and listen to that episode on Monday morning. Appreciate people who listened tonight, as well as our correspondents who checked in with us from some of the different games. And we'll look forward to covering more games next week. But make sure you come back and listen on Monday to our recap episode, where we'll go over all the different games. But thank you for listening, and we will talk to you soon.
Good night.